Friday guys, and welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and comment below to let me know you're watching. So as I said, it is a Friday night. I am just about to tuck into my last meal. I am obsessed with this skinny sauce syrup combo, chip chop curry mixed with garlic and herb. Now I know that might not sound that appetizing, but trust me on this, it is amazing. So if you're new here, I hope you have watched my previous vlogs and have gotten to this point. This is the Grit series, my road to stage, my second year competing as a bikini athlete. We are currently 10 weeks out tomorrow. What the fudge. Crazy. I'm feeling really good, guys. I'm checking in tomorrow. Can't describe how good I'm feeling. So I've got 4 sausages, some lettuce, tinned tomatoes and some veggies. I'm going to add those sauces now and a little bit of vegan cheese. It is 8:45 at night. I need to go out and get some steps in. The reality of prep life. So I have about 5,000 to get in, so I'm probably going to be walking for a good 40 to 45 minutes if I get my march on. And yeah, I have a team catch up with my clients tomorrow morning, so that will be really fun. But I'm heading to the gym early to train with one of my friends and clients first thing, so that is all done. So yeah, I'm going to tuck into this. That is the fridge shouting at me to put these back in. I will speak to you tomorrow. What is up, guys, and welcome. It's been a couple of days since I picked up the camera last. Look at me. I am always dishevelled. Anyway, I'm getting my cardio in. I'm on the bike. I'm in the garage. I'm just doing the last 30 seconds. I just wanted to pop on to say hello. Last few days I've been a bit meh. If you remember in my last vlog, I mentioned like how good I was feeling, and that kind of went on the weekend. Sunday was a bit rubbish. Yesterday it was okay, but today I'm feeling a lot better. So the mood is still very much like this roller coaster. So yeah, I just wanted to chat to you because I have completely transformed my schedule for the week. I really want to knuckle down on nailing my routine because I feel as though it's a bit all over the place. I feel I work 24/7, but then I don't feel I work enough. I cross over a lot of my working stuff, so a bit too multitasking, shall we say. So I've really time blocked my time, and I'm going to honour that with my life so I can really focus on taking more fulfillment time. So this Friday I've marked it out as a fulfillment day. I'll do a little bit of work first thing in the morning, but then I'm taking it as a fulfillment day. It's my get shit done day, so it means I can enjoy my Saturday and Sunday. Don't get me wrong, I'll still be speaking to my clients, but I won't be, you know, on my laptop doing work stuff. So yeah, that is my plan of action. Wish me luck. And as promised, I am going to talk to you about what to expect as a first timer. Okay, so I'm probably going to do this in a bit of a few part series. So I'm going to talk to you today about show day, you know, the night before, what to expect on show day. So first things first, expect to get no sleep. So the 2 shows I did last year, I did not sleep a wink the night before my show. I just couldn't stop thinking about my show, and I probably got about an hour's sleep, and I looked dog rough the next day. So what I'm going to do this year is make sure that I take like my sleep stack, so magnesium, ashwagandha before bed as normal, maybe listen to a meditation before I go to sleep, and just really unwind, because I can't even describe how much of zero sleep I had. So that's probably the first one, expect no sleep. When you are tanned, when you go for your tan, I found it quite a nervous experience, because leading up to it anyway, because you're in this queue with all these girls, and you know, ultimately you're all there competing against each other, and it can feel quite daunting, but the girls are lovely. If they're not, shame on them. So you'll get, if you pay for the full package, you will get 2 coats of tan. You'll get the night before, which is the base coat, and then you get the top up the next day. So the base coat and the top up coat is the same process. I didn't expect to be standing there naked with my hoo-ha out, bending over, doing lunges and squats, while there was about 20 other women in the room watching me, and other women all getting done the same thing. I promise you, once you strip down, you just forget about it. There's so many boobs, so many vaginas everywhere. Of course, you're not in there with men. You just kind of get over it. And I think, honest to God, it was that experience that made me feel okay for the actual show day part, because that's probably the most nerve-wracking thing you could ever do, is just strip down naked in front of all these people. And yeah, you kind of just lose all sense of inhibition, and getting up on stage is so much easier once you've done that. So be prepared to get butt naked, and then you and a bunch of other girls are all standing around a fan waiting for your tan to dry, and you know, the tanners will come round and they'll like elbow you to see if you're dry, so they're touching you. So yeah, that was an experience. So once you do that, stepping on stage is a breeze. So you get your base coat the night before, and then I had a tanning onesie. Basically, you don't need to spend a fortune on these things. I bought a lot of stuff last year, which in retrospect, didn't really need to do. As long as you've got something black and loose, that is fine. Even just a onesie you don't mind getting dirty, that is fine. So don't worry about having to spend a lot of money on those type of things. So when you have your tan, you want to get into your black clothes or your old clothes, but make sure they are loose. And wherever you go for your tan is likely to be somewhere else, so you're probably going to have to catch a taxi, probably going to have to get in the car. Regardless of the weather, take an umbrella, take something that's going to keep you dry, because my first show day, it was absolutely glorious weather, absolutely boiling. Stepped out from the gym where I had my tan done, and torrential rain happened, and some of the girls had major spots of rain all over them. It went through the clothes. So take something that's really going to cover you, and that's your tan. That night then, you need to make sure that your bedding is protected, especially if you're staying in a hotel. You don't want to get fines, so take black bedding. Again, doesn't need to be expensive, or even it can just be old bedding. As long as you don't mind getting it dirty, that is fine. So cover up your bed. The 2 times that I've gone, I've forgotten my black stuff, which is very frustrating. So I had to sleep on a towel and literally just sleep like this and not move. So don't forget your black bedding, or your what are they called? Sleeping bag, or whatever you use. Don't forget those. Make sure you cross-reference that when you get in the car, because 2 weekends in a row I forgot mine. So yeah, that is the first thing when it comes to tan. The second thing when it comes to tan is you can't pee normally, because you can't get your tan wet. You can't get splatters everywhere. So either get a shiwi, which I'm going to trial this year, or get some cups. That way then you can put a hole in the bottom of a cup. So I use big plastic party cups, pee into the cup, and then obviously your pee will go into the toilet. So at least then you're keeping your tan dry and safe from any splatters. Well, this is a slightly different look. Oh my god, guys, I just fell down the stairs. I placed my bed in about 3 steps up from the bottom, and I saw on the corner of the bed, and obviously it's smooth, and I just went arse over tit. Not gonna lie, I thought I broke my bum. Anyway, we are back, so looking a little bit different. Finally looking a bit decent for one of these vlogs. So as I was speaking this morning about what to expect for show day, so I finished off with shiwi, needing to pee into a cup. How lovely. Another thing, now we're on the subject of going to toilet, something you might want to do, especially if you are not staying in your own house, or maybe even more so, is layering the toilet seat with tissues, because you don't want that tan to stain the toilet seat, because trust me, it will happen, and it's hard to get off. So that's a little tip for you. So that, I think, is everything to know about your tan. So the third one is timings. Now, no matter how much you time everything down to a T, you've got your hair done, you've got your makeup done, you know, you've got your tan booked in. I know it didn't happen to me, but I know a lot of girls will end up running an hour, 2 hours behind on certain appointments because they had to wait in a queue for another one, and you're going to get very stressed, put it that way. Now that I've experienced, you know, 2 shows, I will 100% be doing my own hair and makeup at the next shows. So I'm working at my own time. I'm very confident with doing my hair. Makeup not as much, but, you know, I'm going to get better. gonna get better at it. And as long as obviously, you know, you're matching thereabouts, you're pretty okay. And as long as your makeup is very dramatic, you know, big lashes, bold, you're gonna be fine. So yeah, just be prepared. If you're booking your hair and makeup in, be prepared for things to run over and for potentially you to get a little bit stressed because of that. Something I actually did was move my tan appointment, because the ladies' appointments were supposed to be later on in the day. This is for tan 2. Actually moved mine to 6 o'clock in the morning because I didn't want to go for my makeup at 10:30 and then go back for my tan at 12:30, because I didn't want to be rushing. So I had my top up tan at 6:30 in the morning, and then I had my makeup and hair, which worked out really well. So if you can just slide your appointments earlier on in the morning, I would probably suggest that, or just do things yourself. Okie doke. What next? What next are we going to talk about? What to expect on show day. So I don't know whether, because, you know, it was the second year post-COVID, there were still slight restrictions in place. I was only allowed, so we're going to talk about backstage. I was only allowed to go backstage like an hour before my show, where, you know, I know a lot of other competitors, a lot of other vlogs that I've watched in the past, you see competitors sitting backstage for most of the day, but you weren't allowed to do this because of COVID. So you had like an hour's time slot, you had to get to the venue, you had to register, go wait behind stage, and then they move you to different rooms, and it was like to the point that I completely forgot to have my sip of Disaronno before I went on stage. So I ran back downstairs, had a quick sip, and they were shouting at me, and I ran back upstairs. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but oh, backstage. Yeah, so be prepared for backstage to be a bit chip-choppy. I don't know what it's like now. Obviously, I haven't competed at all yet this season, so might be a little bit different, but it was very rushed. PCA was very... that's who I competed with, was very on it, but it just felt a little bit rushed. I would have liked to have a little bit more time to do things. So yeah, that was backstage, and you will literally have everyone's stuff everywhere, you know, their food, their pump up bands, you know, spare shoes, spare bikinis, all of this sort of stuff. Everything is everywhere. Yeah, that's probably about it for backstage. I'm back again. It is another day. I can generally only film a couple of minutes each day because I keep forgetting things. So show day, other things to look forward to, maybe, so the food. Now, of course, you've been dieting for such a long time, you know, the anticipation of your Reese's cupcakes, your donuts, your pizza is nigh, so it's very, very exciting. But your show day food is going to be a load of shit. Now, everyone does show day differently in terms of their food. My foods were kept exactly the same. The only thing that was different on show day was we removed all my veg. So I had meals every 2 to 3 hours apart, and they were literally my protein sauce, potato and peanut butter. And I had that about 4 or 5 times before I stepped on stage. That was like 2 sausages, 10 grams of peanut butter, and 60 grams of potato, or 100 grams of potato, depending on how much I needed at that moment in time. I know some people will just do rice cakes and jam. Some people will actually, you know, have a crazy amount of food. And when I say crazy, I know some girls last year, they had a McDonald's. So it all depends on you and how your coach does those protocols. So food is a bit crazy. And then post-show, of course, this is the happy part. This is where you get to eat all your yummy goodies. But in all honesty, after having a couple of cupcakes, all I wanted to eat, I kid you not, was like fresh fruit, veg, just health. My body was screaming out for health, but an abundance of it. But you know, I did have quite a lot of good stuff post-show. After my first show, we went to Bill's, and obviously because I was competing the week after, only had the one meal, so I had a burger, and it was insane. Vegan burger with sweet potato fries. And then the week after that, so my second show, I had pizza, garlic bread, dough balls, the lot. It was amazing. And I had cupcakes made for me for post-show as well. So freaking good. So that is kind of show day food. Water, again, every coach does it differently, but mine was tapered back, so I water loaded into my show, meaning we increased water for about 6 days out. The day before, we cut water down to about 2 litres, and then the day of show I had about 300 ml, which I didn't actually drink before I got on stage. It was literally just to wet the whistle. Some coaches will keep water in and not manipulate anything at all. Mine was manipulated, so very small amounts. I did have like a little espresso, which was taken from that 300 ml, and I had that little bit of Disaronno before I stood on stage as well. So yeah, that is show day water. Something else to mention, again, this depends on your coach. They may give you an alcoholic drink the night before to kind of dry you out that a little bit. In all honesty, for bikini, it's not that necessary because your body fat percentages aren't as stupidly crazy low as what they are for, you know, the big boy shows. So it's more for the placebo effect. It's more for a bit of enjoyment. You know, the hard work is done, have a glass of wine, enjoy it. And that's that. So, is there anything else I could probably tell you about show day? Oh, it will go so fast, honest to God. Like, I documented quite a lot of it on my stories last year, but it will go so fast. I wish I'd taken more photos. I wish I'd taken more photos with other people. I wish I had more stage footage. Honestly, relish in the moment. It will be over in a blink. You know, you've worked just the dieting phase, probably about 20-25 weeks up to that point. You probably would have done your build phase before that. So it's a long old journey for a very fast day. So enjoy it, take as many photos and as many memories as you can, because it will be over like that. And the post-show blues are real, which is probably a different story to talk about. And then, is there anything else I could probably talk about on show day? So I've covered water, I've covered food, I've covered tan, I've covered backstage, I've covered timings, memories. I think that's probably the main things. If I think of anything, maybe I'll do another little vlog on show day. Oh, one thing to take note of, if you're only staying the one night, and say you're competing at 6 o'clock in the evening and you stayed the night before, think about what you're going to do with all of your stuff, especially if you're traveling alone, because most hotels, they make you check out 12. I actually extended my booking till 3, so 3 o'clock I needed to go over to the venue. But make sure, you know, you've either got that night booked or you've got someone or someplace to put all of your stuff, because it is a lot of stuff to look back and for. So that's one tip. Make sure you've got enough time, because you don't want to be... I got cut off the other day. I'm only now getting around to filming. So it is Friday. It is the 4th of August. So as I was saying, if I remember rightly, you don't want to be having nowhere to put your stuff, basically. So if you're staying in a hotel, I would probably recommend either booking an extra night or extending the time you're in the hotel for, because you just don't want to be, you know, backstage with all the stuff, worrying about it. Just book that extra night or just extend the night. So yeah, that's kind of like the main things there. The only other thing really to make note of, 2 things actually. Don't, when it comes to food, don't store food throughout your prep. Now I know this is not a show day thing, but of course you're going to be eating this food on show day. Don't buy loads of goodies throughout your prep and then save them for show day and then binge on them on show day. It is better to have a meal booked out with friends, family, that you can enjoy and be present in the moment with, than binging on just chocolate, which you can have any day of the year. I made this mistake before in my first ever prep back in 2016, and I ballooned after it, and I went like a little marshmallow. That's no exaggeration, because when you finish your prep, your body's still super sensitive and it's the perfect time to build. But if you're sloppy with your nutrition, you're going to gain really unnecessary fat very dramatically. But what will come with that as well is water storage, and you will just blow up like a balloon. I can't even describe it, but your face will blow up. Every part of you will swell. So don't be a dick with food. Don't store food throughout your prep. Just have a lovely meal, have a couple of cupcakes, and kind of just leave it as that. Otherwise, I promise you will regret it. And the other thing is, you're probably going to smell a little bit on show day, but that is okay. Everyone smells on show day. You can't, once you've had your first tan, you can't shower. So you have the first tan the night before. So with your tans, I forgot to mention, there's 3 basically tans that you kind of have. You have the night before one, which is the base tan. You have the top of one the next day, and then you kind of have a little bronze over before you step on stage. But of course, after your first tan, you've got to sleep in it, And the best way to kind of stop smell is just to dab yourself very gently, because you don't want to like move your tan or smudge it or anything like that. I use dryer sheets, they're scented, and just dab myself, and yeah, that seemed to work fine. But honestly, I wouldn't worry about smelling too much. Everyone smells, everyone stinks of bloody rice cakes and tan on the day. But just be aware of that. If you're going out in the evening, I would probably try and shower off, just because it looks absolutely disgusting when you step off stage where you've been sweating. Your bikini would have created a white line, and I remember after my first show I didn't shower before I went out in the evening, and it looked disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So if you have the opportunity, try and shower before you pop out for food in the evening. And that is it. I'm going to leave this vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of a different one this week. What to expect on show day. There's probably so much more stuff which I'll remember when I come to doing my shows now, which I'll do another vlog on. So yeah, 9 weeks out tomorrow, baby. Whoop. I will pick up the camera tomorrow morning because I'm going to check in with my coach. It's a full check-in tomorrow, although I had a check-in on Wednesday. My coach is on holidays at the minute, so it's just a touch point, so nothing changed. There's nothing really to report back. Weight is still hovering around the 58 mark. Weighed in at 58.4 this morning. So coach in my last check-in was like, we need to get you in the 57s. Of course, last week it was, we need to get you in the 58. So let's see what happens between now and tomorrow. That was my weigh in first thing before going to toilet. Been for a pee, but hadn't, you know, done the do's. So I'll have more time tomorrow morning when I check in. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm signing out there. So if you're new here, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, let me know where you are in the world, and hit that subscribe button. I will see you next time, guys.